I'm Connor. I talk about everything and anything. So first aid courses. I took one. We all take one. Well, not all of us, but if you need one, or if you thought about taking one, I highly recommend it. I think knowing first aid is very important. I don't think there should be an argument for that. I think it's good to know. It's handy. You were the person saving a person's life until the ambulance showed us up. So get your first aid if you want to get it. If you want to get it. I'm going to talk about my experience taking many first aid courses, be it that the job I still have as a lifeguard. I've taken a lot of courses involving first aid, involving saving people, and we're going to talk about that today. Okay. So, you find yourself taking a first aid course. There's two reasons you're taking it. Reason number one, your job says anyone who's good first aid will pay for you. And you're like, I'll do it. I have experience. I did scouts. I've done some first aid stuff. I have an understanding of first aid. I'll go. Or reason two, you need it for a job. You're not getting that job about that first aid. But let me just tell you, the first aid courses are not cheap anymore. I paid $200 Canadian to do that first aid course. That's a lot. That's a lot of money that I don't have. But yeah. Yeah, $200. But it's good. It's important, anyways. Let's just talk about some people you see at your first aid course. There could be two situations. You do a first aid course on the weekend, and that room's full of teenagers who are judging you, who thinks you're not cool. Guess what, teenagers? I think I'm cooler than you. They can tell I'm homeschooled. That's my one greatest fear, and it's always been my greatest fear. I've always been scared of teenagers, because they can just look at me and be like, yeah, we can tell, buddy. We can tell. When I was walking to get a body pillow, because it hurt, I need a body pillow. I just need a body pillow. A group of kids, as I'm walking, said, Hi, friend. And I kept walking straight. I did not look them, pay them no mind. We are not friends. I don't know you. Also, I'm not going to talk to a teenager. You can do another situation and take the course during the week, which I did. And it was amazing because it's all adults taking a course for their job or other reasons. And we all sit there and we get shit done. There's no issue. I didn't change my shirt. Okay, so I'm just going to go and name some things that you'll go over in your first aid course if you're curious. Okay, so you're going to go over signs and symptoms of very common things that once you take your first aid course, you start to see more in real life. Example, what a heart attack might look like. I was told in another first aid course not to say, oh, you're having a heart attack. But they didn't tell me not to tell someone you're having a heart attack in this one. But I feel like you shouldn't tell people you're having a heart attack, because that would stress them out. And stress and your heart are together. Stress, you're getting more blood pumping if you realize, oh, I'm having a heart attack. Another thing you talk about are strokes, and they suck. I had a family friend who had a stroke, and it sucked. He couldn't talk after that, and yeah, strokes scare me. It's on my list of fears. Yeah. Heart attacks and strokes are basically the same thing. They're just blood clotting certain areas of your brain. Except, your brain, not your brain, blood clotting your heart, parts of your brain shut down due to strokes. I need my coffee. You talk about different medical conditions like angina, and people usually have a bracelet for that. That's cool. How to deal with certain injuries. They show you how to wrap people up when they break an arm. Everyone hates when you get to eye injuries. Even their cartoons, you're like, oh, your brain's like, oh, imagine getting that in your eye. And it hurt. And yeah. And that hurts. Oi. We also talked about frostbites. They scare me. Kind of sad thing that happened recently is now we went over how to deal with someone who accidentally overdosed. So that's cool. You put one of these things up their nose. Fun things, right? I don't know what else there. Oh, you do situations. If you have a friend who needs a first date, bring that friend with them. Because you two are going to do all your situations together. Because you already have, a friendship. Unlike these random people you don't know. You have, oh, I know you. I did stuff with you before. Coworker, you have a co-working, thing. And then once you come back from your first date, you have that under your belt. You did first date course together. You can make jokes about it together. And that's how you get friends. Male loneliness epidemic, my behind. Final little chit chat of this video. It's not that long. Okay, I want this to, I don't know if it's like a hypnotized kind of situation. It's depending on the course you take. I've done courses where they show you videos on YouTube of people having situations, how to deal with those, and they show videos on YouTube. But if you're in a company who is about saving lives, who basically a good profit of their company comes from like first aid and selling first aid products. They're going to sell those first aid products and it's going to work. I was watching a kid get a bad injury and they had that first aid kit, that lady coming out the door, first aid kit in their hand, holding it in front of the camera. And I'm like sitting there thinking to myself, I don't have a first aid kit. If it's like $150, I'll buy it. Like, it's not bad. I don't think it's a bad thing to have a first aid kit on you. And those first aid kits will have fully equipped for everything you need. Another thing is like, I want to get a pocket mask, and that's basically, you can do CPR with it. And I should be carrying one, and I used to. And then I lost it. And I don't carry it anymore. But, yeah. I was close to doing first aid with someone. Like, there was a car crash, but luckily a paramedic came out and was ready to go. They took care of it, and I was just kind of there. And I don't know if that's good. But they were there before I was. And everyone was fine. There's no issue. But maybe we should have done something. Okay, final thing, team. Final thoughts. Well, we have talks of consent. We talk about, can I help you? I'm trained in first aid. Can I assist you? Hi, I'm blah, blah, blah. I'm Connor. And I talk about everything and anything. I'm trained in first aid. Can I help you? You know what I mean? You ask before you do anything. You're in a room full of people who all need something out of this course. So you are strangers. I don't think there's any other way of wording it. You don't know each other. Okay? You don't know each other. You're there to take a course. So you should always ask them, hey, can I touch you? Or it's like, is it okay that I touch your chest? Is there any issue with that? Can I touch your legs? Ask, could you do a head to toe check and everything? Okay? You ask. Anyway, so we're lining up in a group of people. We're doing a secondary assessment for a person. You have them calling EMS. You do checking for airway again. You do a head to toe check and you do shock. They had 4 people line up in different ways, and I picked a card because I didn't want to. I don't know. I just picked it. I want to be crazy. I don't know. I just picked up the piece of paper. It wasn't that. It's not. There's no reason behind it. Sorry. Anyways, I pick it up. I got shock. I'm like, oh, I'm at the end. And I read everyone else's, and everyone else, they lined us all up in the group, and we finish it, and it's like, the instructor's like, you did it, good job, team, and we're all done. And then this lady looked at me, and she's like, oh, not the instructor, completely different lady in the course. She says like, oh, ready, you're me. This is what I saw. Oh, Connor is at the end. Can you not touch me, please? Leave me alone. Anyways, after she did that, she did not talk to me. I did not make eye contact with her. There was nothing. She was a very extroverted person. But like, gosh, don't touch people. That's all I gotta say.